Hi, Amy of Fashion Topics here. Today I'm going to do something from scratch. I'm not doing a refashioning, but I am using scrap material. I'm going to make a skirt that is actually inspired from a photo I saw of a Diane Von Furstenberg skirt that she had did. So I'm going to make a black and brown striped drawstring skirt that I can wear with my leggings or my tights this winter, but I have leftover stretchy material in the dark brown, and I also have some in black. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to have to take down our measurements. You measure around the widest part of your hips. So I know my measurements. I'm not going to say them though. Okay, with that measurement that you just took from your hips, make sure that you add the 1 inch for ease or seam allowance. So your hip measurement plus 1 inch, write it down so you don't forget it. Next, what we're going to do is start cutting out our strips of material, our stripes. So let's go ahead and cut our stripes. So the black one, I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to cut a 9 inch tall by my hip measurements plus 1 inch. And I'm also cutting a 7 inch tall by my hip measurements plus 1 inch. So I'm going to cut 2 stripes of black to start off with. And then I'm going to cut my waistband also out of black. Now my waistband, I want a 2 inch waistband, but we're going to be doing a drawstring casing. So it's going to be folded in half to make a tunnel like we did with my the red jacket with the halter dress. So since I want my waistband to be 2 inches, I need to double it. So that makes it 4 inches. And then I added 1 inch for seam allowance. So I'm also going to be cutting a 5 inch tall by my hip measurements plus 1 inch of black material for my drawstring casing as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut my brown as well. My brown I chose to be 6 inches tall, and it also has to be the width of your hips plus 1 inch. So go ahead and get all those stripes cut out of your material or whatever color you chose. Now let's go ahead and start from the waist on down. So let's make our waistband casing first. Let's make this easy. Now the first thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take this to the sewing machine, and I want to just finish off the 2 ends, these 2 ends. And the reason we want to do that is these are going to be open for the drawstring, so I want finished edges. So it's easier to do this now while it's not all sewn up. Let's just fold over these edges. Now fold towards the wrong side of your material. Fold it 1/2 inch, pin it, and let's take it to our sewing machine. Since I'm using a stretch knit, everything I do today is going to be with a ballpoint needle so that I don't get the puckering on my material. So I'm going to use a ballpoint needle, and I'm going to use a stretch zigzag stitch because it's stretched. You don't want your material or your stitches to break. I'm going to take my edges, this edge of my waistband and the other edge, fold it over a 1/2 inch, pinned. I'm just going to put a quick hem right on both of these edges so I have finished ends to my waistband. So I'll be right back. Okay, now it is time to put our strips together. So open them up. I'm working with right sides of the fabric together. And we're going to join the brown piece, that's our middle strip, with our black bottom strip, our 7 inch strip. So the brown and the black are getting joined together. And the like sides or the right sides of the fabric are touching each other. So I'm looking at the wrong side of the fabric right now. So make sure your edges meet up nice and neat. And go ahead and pin the 2 pieces together all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to the sewing machine and just sew right down my pin line with about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to put these stripes together with a zigzag stitch, and I'll be right back to show you how it looks. Okay, so I made 2 pieces together, and as you can kind of see where we're going with this. Now I need to connect the top black, not my waistband, but the top black, which is the 9 inch section of my pattern. So it's the same thing. I have the right side of my black on top of the right side of my brown. The other black we already did is pushed up out of the way so we don't actually sew on top of it. So I'm taking the right side of my black, of my next piece, and lay it on top of the brown. And then I'm taking my edge down here, and I'm going to pin them together. So I'm going to pin all the way down. Okay, so I have my brown and my black top piece now pinned together. And I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to do the same thing. Zigzag stitch all the way down. Okay, here we go again. Now I have my black and brown stripe start of a skirt. So now my larger is the top. Now we want to put in our waistband. So starting at the top, I'm only pinning the top of this waistband, like sides facing together. I'm just nice and neatly going to pin the waistband casing right to the top of the skirt. I pin the waistband to the top of the skirt, like sides together. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and put it the same zigzag stitch all the way across, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what's next. So now what I'm going to do is fold my waistband in half. That's the right side. So I'm folding towards the wrong side of the fabric. So I'm going to fold it and pin it all the way down. Okay, just like that. So here's my little tunnel. What I'm going to do is just keep folding and pinning, folding towards the wrong side of the fabric. And I'm going to pin it all the way down. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and go ahead and get the stitch right all the way down to finish up my casing for my waistband. And then we'll have 2 more steps, hemming and our side seam, and we are done. Okay, I'm back. I think the lighting's a little better on this side over here. So I have my casing inside, see, I can stick my fingers all the way in there, inside the skirt. So, as you can see, the waistband, black, brown, then black. Okay, it's just one piece of material again, so now what we need to do is get it so that it's fitted the way we want and put in our side seam, and then you can hem or not hem, it's up to you. Now the one thing that you need to remember when it comes to doing the final stitching is start sewing from right below the casing all the way down the side seam of our skirt, and then you can put your hem in the bottom and you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and get pinned. I'm going to try it on, make sure it fits the way I like it. If it fits the way I like it, I'm going to put my zigzag stitch down my side seam, and then I'll do a single rolled hem at the bottom. So let me take this to the sewing machine and do those steps, and then I will be back. I'm back. I finished the skirt. So it's just basically you're making a tube. And then I have my casing for my belt. Now you can make a belt like we've always done. If you're watching my videos, you can use scrap material, fold it like sides together, stitch down the side, turn it inside right, and then use that as a belt. Or you can use a simple shoelace, long shoelace, that'll work too. I have ribbons, I have brown ribbons, black ribbons, so I have a little bit of everything. So I'm not going to make another belt. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and use my shoelace, and I'm going to run it through there just for now. And I'm going to feed it through the casing, and then we're done. Watch for pictures at the end, and I'm going to go ahead and start thinking of what I'm going to do for my next video, get it all planned, and get started. So this is Amy with Fashion Toppings. Until next time, you have a great day.